Tonight was episode 29 of Love Island, and I haven't made a video in a few days, but of course I've been watching, so we can cover that. And no shock here, Josh is still a dick. After the challenge where they had to guess what the public thought of them and put each couple on the podiums, surprise, surprise, Georgia H wasn't happy. For somebody who spends so much time meditating, she's miserable as fuck half the time. So Georgia wasn't happy with Josh, and he told her that 70% of the villa thought that her and Anton were fake. Now, I do kind of agree with what he's saying, but at the same time, he went about it completely wrong. Like, if you're going to tell somebody that 70% of the villa's saying things, and you're not going to tell them who it is or exactly what they're saying, then shut the fuck up. So Anton was like, oh, I'm not having this, I'm not having people talking about us behind her back, and he called everybody to the fire pit, which is totally understandable. I would have done the same. Like, see if I was in the Big Brother house, and somebody told me that people were talking about me, but they didn't say, oh, like, don't say anything, like, keep it a secret. I'd be like that, house meeting. Like, literally every other day I'd have a house meeting, because don't talk about me behind my back if you can't say it to my face. So obviously Georgia and Anton weren't too happy, but then Josh was like, oh, you're attacking me. When they weren't attacking him, they just wanted to find out the truth. So he stormed off in a huff. He's such a child. And obviously Sophie's totally sticking up for him. She needs to learn how to speak. Like, I can't understand why she makes every word last like 3 minutes. She bores me to death. Like, speak faster. So Georgia and Josh fell out. No loss to her, he's a complete dick anyway. And in the next episode, the girls got calls from home. I thought it was a bit unfair that the girls got calls from home and the guys got football and beer. I was like, oh, send them out to be lads, it's 18:25. Like, are you for real? But anyway, they got their calls from home. And I was like, is everybody in this house linked to somebody famous? Like, I didn't find that entertaining. I didn't find it impressive. I don't watch these shows and go, oh my god, her sister's famous. Oh my god, she's best friends with somebody else who's famous. No. I want normal people, right? Like, I really wish that there was a Love Island for older people. I've said this a million times. I wish there was a Love Island for older people, because older women would not put up with the crap that these girls put up with. And it would be so much funnier to see the reaction of women when guys are like, oh, I want to get to know this person and that person. They'd be like that, okay, fuck off. Bye-bye, I can do better. And also when they're getting their calls through home and it's famous people, I don't want that, okay? I want somebody to get a call from my postman. I want somebody to get a call from somebody that I work with. Or just somebody, like a bin man, you know? Normal people. I've got no interest in them constantly putting people in there that have got famous relatives. Footballers. Like, remember when Ronan Keating's son went in? I was like, oh, honestly, stop. So not only did the boys not get a call from friends and family, they didn't fly any friends and family in, and they didn't have Casa Moore this year. These are changes that I don't like. But then when the boys came back for their beer and football, how exciting. Georgia H ran over to Anton and jumped up on him. Like, I get that some people act like that, right? Me included. I wouldn't jump up on him because I'm too heavy. However, the fact that the way she's acted with him the whole time, and now she's had this argument with Josh, it's like she's trying to prove something. It's like, oh, Anton's here, like, jump up. It was just like, it was so fake. The girls were telling the boys about their calls, and another thing that I didn't really understand actually is that when the girls were getting calls from home, why didn't the other girls get to watch as well? Instead they put them out to have chats. It was obviously just a total filler episode, and I hate filler episodes. But the girls were telling the boys about their calls, and a couple of them were like, oh, the public think that Molly and Callum are going to get back together. And then obviously that's not going to be nice for Tom and Callum's partner to hear, right? But what the fuck do the public know? The public see less than an hour of their life every day. And okay, maybe there's been times where I've thought, oh, they still like each other or whatever. But it's very possible for exes to be friends. I'm friends with some of my exes who I've went out for way longer than they went out. And I would never, and I mean, if they were the last person on earth, I would never get back with them. It's totally possible for exes to be friends. But it was a big drama for no reason. It's like, oh, this is what the public thinks. And what? Do you know what I mean? What do the public know? They don't know shit. Molly wasn't happy with Arabella because she's the one who went and told Tom what the public thought. And she was totally right. Like, why didn't she go to Molly and say, oh, by the way, we're hearing that the public think that you and Callum still like each other. Like, have you spoke to Tom about it? Instead, she decided to go and be a gossip and then go in a huff with Molly when she wasn't happy about it. I was like, she knew exactly what she was doing. Georgia H was talking about it and she was saying, oh, it's just like a fairy tale because they followed their journey last time and the public love Molly, the public love Callum. Do we? I certainly don't. Do you? Georgia and Josh went for another chat even though they said that they were done with each other. And she was like, oh, why didn't Olivia tell me that 70% of the villa thought that me and Anton were fake? And I'm like, she's been on this show before. She's been in the public before and people have had opinions there because of videos that she's made. So she should know that what the public think doesn't make a difference. And she should also know that the public don't know enough to say whether or not their relationship is fake or not. And they also don't know if 70% of the villa think that they're fake. I'm like, do you not even know what's going on here? Like, I don't like Josh, right, but I feel like she was out of order because she just wants to blame him for everything. So Georgia S was talking to Toby and it was like trying to get blood out of a stone, and she was saying, what does exclusive mean? Obviously trying to get him to ask her out officially. And he's like, oh, well, we can't take it any further because I haven't met your family and all that, like we can't do it and I know it's important to you. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, 1775? Do you need to go and ask for permission for your dad to court her? Is there going to be a dowry involved? Do you know what I mean? Are you going to be trading goats? Fucking does my nut and grow up, Toby. I can't stand it. And she's going, what does exclusive mean? And he's like, oh, it means we're locked in. Thanks for the clarification, fuckhead. So later the two Georges were speaking and Georgia S was like, oh, I still don't know what exclusive means. We're locked down or we're locked in or whatever, like I still don't know what that means. So then Georgia H was shouting over to Anton and she's like, oh, are we locked in? Are we locked down, babe? And he's like, oh, we're exclusive. And then he's like, oh, do you want to be my girlfriend? And the whole villa's like, oh my god, they probably just edited it like that, right? But he's like, do you want to be my girlfriend? And she's like, oh, do you think that's a chat we should have another time? Like, he is so fearless, right? Even if the relationship is fake, like, he is so fearless. And then she just made it totally awkward by saying, oh, is this a conversation for another time? Like, no, do you want to be my fucking girlfriend or not, bitch? Georgia and Anton were kissing on the beanbags, and they made a weird sound, right? And the two of them mentioned it. And then he was like, oh, just go and kiss somebody else then. Now, I wouldn't have took that personally, right? But then she ended up freaking out. And she's like, oh, you take everything personally, you think you don't say anything offensive, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what is her problem? So then they got a text saying that the hideaway was going to be open. And somebody says, oh, I think it should be Tom and Molly. Somebody else said Josh and Sophie. And then somebody was like Arabella and, what's his name, Adam. And then they ended up putting Arabella and Adam in. That wasn't fair, they're just a new couple. And I thought, no, it should have been Tom and Molly because Tom's obviously having a hard time right now because of what he heard about Callum and Molly. And I was like, why does Arabella get to go in? I'd have been like, ah, no, me and Tom are going in. Thanks. Have a good night. At least Adam and Arabella seem to have fun. But before this video ends, did you happen to hear the remix of Mysterious Girl and Give It All Back to You? Like, I normally like the songs in this show and they do remixes, and you're like, oh, that kind of sounds nice. Do not fuck with S Club 7. It's just one step too far. I wasn't really sure what happened in the last couple of minutes, but Anton and Georgia were in bed and it looked as if he was trying to give her a cuddle or something, and she was like, oh, you were too touchy earlier or whatever, and let's just start again tomorrow. And then he got up and he left and he went and slept in the other bed. And I don't know about you, right, but I felt as if she was the problem. She was the problem the whole time. Let me know what you think. But anyway, on Sunday night, the rest of the housemates are coming back and they're going to be telling them what they think and stuff. Like, is that the last episode? If it is, what am I going to do? Like, hurry up, Big Brother celebrity.